So today was a good learning day for me. I picked up these windows. I had new glass put in them. As you can see, there's some old panes here, but most of the glass panes were missing, as was the glazing. Glazing is what they call the it's kind of a type of putty that goes around which holds the glass in place. So I picked these up, and they've been primed. It was bare wood, pretty much like this, because they were so old. I had that primed first so that it would get on the wood here before we put the window and the glazing in. But I noticed when I picked them up I had forgotten to take the hardware off, and being the person I am, I wanted to clean up the hardware because it was rusty and had paint on it, but I wanted to clean that up nicely before I put the windows back in. So as we can see, this old piece of hardware is still on here. It's very rusty. I should have taken that off before probably painting, but as I said, I kind of got anxious, and so I went ahead and started doing things. But I did take these off. You can see I took these two off already, and along with the hinge hardware up here, right here where the metal meets the wood, there was some paint that had run over in the last one, and when I tried to pry this up, the wood started to tear off with it. So I took the hacksaw and cut this spot here between the hinge and the wood to separate that so that it wouldn't be sticking before I pulled that out. So now I'm going to have to fix that with wood glue. This is where that joint is. I'm just going to take this and make sure that these two are separated right up against that hinge. I unscrewed these screws with a flathead screwdriver, and now what I'm going to do is, see, it pops right up there now because it's been separated. So I want to get the paint off, and then I want to get the rust off. So the first thing I'm doing is soaking this in boiling water to try to loosen the paint. Okay, well, we're checking back in. You can see I scraped this one. I took an old screwdriver. Don't want to take a new one because you don't want to wear your edges down, but I have some of these old ones especially for this, and I took it out of this water. It was here. That's what it looked like. It had lots of paint on it, and I essentially scraped off the majority where I could find it. The pieces. Normally I would have newspaper down here, but because of the wetness I didn't do that. Another good thing about this is because it's probably lead paint, because this is an old barn, it's better to do this. You notice because it's wet, we're not getting dust to be breathed in. Then I've got down here these things soaking in vinegar, which is a mild acid. So to take the rust off, we'll see how that's going to do here. Well, as an experiment, I decided to try this. This is called Brownie. It's actually a toilet bowl cleaner, but my mother told me about it, and so I thought, oh, I'd try it on one of these. As you can see, it's only been about a minute, and it's already done quite a bit of cleanup on the rust. Okay, so this is after about 20 minutes of soaking this. This is in just plain vinegar, and this was soaked in Brownie for about 3 to 5 minutes, and they're both still wet, just taken right out of the solution. You can see the difference here. This is back down to the silver part of the metal. All of the rust is taken off, and this one is still very rusty. So, you know, this is the difference between using a very strong chemical and a organic solution. Doesn't mean that this can't work. I would probably come back over with steel wool and clean that really good with steel wool, but if you want something very quick, this was just a comparison to see how it worked.